Pony Effect Spring Collection. A little bit late on this because I wanted to test all the new products out, and yeah, I was a little I was wondering what I'm always wondering what they're coming out with next, and I wasn't really pre-thinking a lot of the stuff that I'm about to say, so I guess we'll just go along and we'll just talk about each product as we go through each one. So first, we've got the color correcting master palette. The packaging is beautiful. It's like this ivory. It's like a cream beige. And you've got your please don't mind this. You've got your color correct. It's a color correcting palette. Not gonna lie, when I first saw this, I was a little bit because I'm not really into color correcting, if I'm gonna be honest. Because for the most part, color correctors tend to be the consistency of concealers, and when you're doing color correcting, you usually do it before your foundation. But the thing is, I use concealer after foundation, so I always felt like if I ever color corrected, it kind of just moved around when I was blending my foundation, or it just I don't know. I just feel like it didn't do that much for me. So when I saw this, I was just eh. And from the announcement video and the little tutorial that they have, it kind of looked like, just even looking at it in the pan here, it almost looked like Halloween makeup. The very greasy, watered down, no pigment sort of texture. But bitch, I was surprised. This palette right here has completely changed my idea. It didn't completely change my idea of all color correcting palettes, but this is my favorite color correcting anything right now. Simply because the texture is ingenious. Rather than the texture of a really chalky, dry concealer, the texture of these is actually more like a really thick gel eye cream. And it sounds really weird, but when I used it on my face, it made total sense, because basically it's like putting on an eye cream or a skincare item on your face, and the color, there's actually, the pigment is actually pretty decent, because a lot of color correctors tend to be really white, and they'll be maybe it's if it's a green, it's a white green or a white peach. But, specifically this color, it's the colors are really pigmented. And when you blend it into your skin, it blends in more like an eye cream, so it goes into the skin rather than sitting right on top, so that when you're blending your foundation, it actually melds into the skin and actually color corrects the area. You'll have to see what I'm demonstrating right now. Here you've got your kind of lavender shade to brighten up the skin. Here, of course, you got your mint green to deal with redness around the face. And then these three, honestly, are kind of just color correctors for mainly dark circles and dark parts of the face. This color would be really good if you're a person of color and you have the darkness around your mouth. I honestly just use this combination of three right here to deal with my dark circles. And this right here is actually a moisturizing balm. So basically, if anything, that just adds moisture to the skin, and because it's white, you can mix it with the other colors to get a lighter color. These are, I feel like these colors on the outside are already fine alone, but adding it, I add it to this one often, or I only really add it to this one because the red is a little bit too red for my under eyes. So before I do my foundation, I'm going to color correct. Now from the video, she uses a brush, and honestly, in my personal opinion, I feel like you can just go right the fuck in with your fingers, because the texture is very much, again, like skincare. As you see, I barely touched the palette, but you can see it's pretty strong. So what I'm going to do is a little, there's one thing though, this moisturizing here. Try to keep this palette in a cool area, because the texture of this is different from the other ones. It's more it's much softer, so it can actually melt. I took a tiny bit and playing it here. I'm kind of mixing the colors. As you can see, it's kind of, do you see that right there? They're mixing, and they're really just turning into these two colors, honestly, but I feel like my dark circles lately have been very severe. Damn it, I should have done a before and after. Now I'm gonna add, I just dip into these two and just keep adding until I'm happy with where it's at. Do you see how it really just helped conceal a lot of that discoloration? Now, in the video, it says oh, conceal your face before, I don't know. With color correcting, I don't think it's a replacement for concealer, honestly. Depending on how good your skin is and how little problems you have with it, I think color correcting is a great way to use less foundation. For me personally, I'm not going to skip concealer just for color correcting. But, do you see, oh my god. Of course, there's the physical shadow of because this part of my under eye is actually receding in, so it's gonna have a kind of shadow in there no matter what. But I have like a little side by side here showing like it makes a pretty decent difference. And then for me, a lot of my face is just redness, so I really just take the mint color and kind of just like put it in the parts of my face that are quite red, which would be like a lot of it, especially under the nose, near the center of the face. But it blends because it's like a really balmy skincare like texture. I don't have to worry about it like catching onto fine lines because it kind of smooths out. Did I say fine lines? I meant like little crusties on the skin, because again, it's like it feels like skincare. And then I do have a little bit of residual like yellowing of like from the bruising that I had from my surgery, so I like to take the lavender color and apply that there. And also because apparently it's lavender supposed to brighten the skin, I put it on the tops of my cheekbones. But really, we're doing it just to be extra, because on Edward's channel, we're extra, just for shits and giggles. And the palette does come with a kind of instruction manual showing you the different areas to use each color, but I feel like each person's face is different, so as you can see, it's obviously not perfect, but it just like evened out like the main issues of my skin. It's definitely not as like white casty, like ghostly as like, remember the Etude House the color correcting pencils? That was a mess. But again, it doesn't look like makeup on the skin at all. It really just feels like a fucking eye cream. I can't explain it. I can't explain it any better. Also, another thing is that because, again, it's such a skin-like texture, I don't have to worry about it. Because, you know, if you have like color correcting concealers underneath, especially under the eyes, I feel like it increases the chances of your foundation creasing on you. Because it's not the same texture as like a primer. Primers are supposed to help your makeup look and last longer throughout the day, but color correcting concealers are not primers unless they're like formulated to be so. But for the most part, I feel like they don't work well under foundation. But this one, because again, like it's more like a moisturizer eye cream sort of feeling, I don't have to worry about it creasing my foundation, which it doesn't. So do I recommend the color correcting master palette? If you are into color correcting, I really recommend, or if you're like in the market for one, I definitely recommend this one. Like Pony Effect, let's be honest, Pony Effect makeup is not cheap. But because of like the quality and like the concept and like just in general this kind of color correcting product is available, I think from all the ones that I've tried, this is by far the best one. Oh, and really good for those people that don't want to wear foundation, but they literally just have like blotches of like unevenness throughout the skin. So with this collection, she's also released a new cushion, the Defense Longwear Cushion Foundation. My color is in Buff, and the concept of this one is supposed to be, it's supposed to create a shield on your skin to protect it against the elements, pollution, microdust, you know, UV rays, things like that. I did make a full-blown review on this one, so I'll link it up here for you to check that out if you are interested in this one. The finish of it, of course, super good coverage. The finish is between the Everlasting and the Cover Stay cushions. Everlasting was very dewy, and then Cover Stay is it's not super matte, but it's more velvety matte. This one is a good combination of, it strikes a good balance in between. So if you're not really about super matte skin, but you're not really about dewy skin, then I think this would be a good option. Oh my god, honestly, I was doing it off camera, but I was barely dipping into this. Like, look, barely touching it. I'm kind of just like tapping the surface. But do you see that? Oh my god. Someone in the review video for this was kind of she was saying how expensive it was and she can't justify the price for how much product you're getting. And it's true, cushion foundations tend to have less product than like bottles of liquid foundation, but from my experience with a lot of cushions actually these days, you need such little product with this one in particular that it comes with a refill. And you know, again, this is not a cheap, it's like, this was actually a little more expensive than the other two cushions, but for me, I honestly, like, even the Everlasting Cover Stay, I still have not used the refills because I need such little product that it lasts me like forever. And just to conceal any leftover blemishes, I'm going to use the her Cover Up Pro concealer. For a little bit of highlight, I'm going to use this what is it fucking called? These Artistics. This one is in Dreamlike. Oh, and if you buy it online or in store, you spend a certain amount of money, you can get this cool little mirror, this holographic mirror. Here you can just have it open like this, or you can stand it on your desk or whatever like this. Love it. And then another Artistic, but this one is just for contouring a little bit. He says as he draws stripes on his jaw. And then right before we get started with the eye makeup, just quickly gonna fill in my brows. And the other day, it was like yesterday, I groomed my brows after not having groomed them in a while. And I mean, I trim them every now and then, but actually like going and shortening the hair and cutting the hair that's too long, girl, it makes such a difference in how easy it is to fill my brows in. Because when my brow hairs grow out too long, I don't really like mind because you know, my brow routine kind of changes from day to day and I just fill it in accordingly. But when your brows are straightened out and you got them in check, it's just like filling them in is like a whole nother experience. Today they're definitely sisters, maybe distant cousins, not twins today. Alright you guys, let's talk about what I feel like most people are excited for with this collection. The Master Eye Palette in Pastel Master. Now the packaging is very similar to their other Master Eye Palettes. This is the Matte Master. This is the Pastel Master. And honestly, when I first saw it, like in the tutorial video, like the announcement video for, you know, from Pony Effect, I wasn't that impressed. You could even tell from even the brush that the makeup artist was using on the model's face. She had to use one of these concealer and lipstick application brushes, which means you gotta get a really dense brush and to be able to pack on the color. And that in itself was like a warning sign to me about what level of pigmentation I was gonna get from these. And you know, you guys know I fucking love Pony Effect, but their main downfall is eyeshadow. Even, you know, on the reviews in Korea, everyone tends to agree that their eyeshadows aren't that great. And so honestly, for this one, I would go so far as to say that this wasn't just like I don't really like it. This was like a failure for me. I don't know, in general, these colors, like, I couldn't get the pigmentation to show up because, girl, I got used to the Modern Renaissance palette. That became like my new benchmark for level of pigmentation. Girl, she thought she knew pigment with that Etude House palette. No, she knew pigmentation when she found that Modern Renaissance palette. So having to try these after that one was very, very disappointing. The kind of pastel shimmery shades, 3 right here, this kind of prism tones. And mind you, these are with finger swatches. Brush swatches tend to not fare as well, and you know, no matter what brush I've tried all sorts of brushes, even the most dense brushes that I own, and still don't get any sort of pigmentation that I would like. So what I found is that I just need to just use my finger and like keep layering it. And I did try like spraying my brush with a mist or like a setting spray and trying dipping in, but what I noticed is that it really, especially these shades right here, these Prism tones, it really, how do you describe it? It like makes the formula all crumbly. It starts falling apart and there's a ton of fallout. And after that, it kind of ruins the top part of the shadow. So then you have to like scratch off that top. I'm sure you've seen it if you have like powder products, especially pressed powders where you have to use like a powder brush and you put it on your face and the oils on your face get onto like the powder and it creates that hard crust on the top. And as you can see, that's what happened here. Now I know there are some people that enjoy very little pigmentation or like light pigmentation. So I think this might be pretty on people with very fair skin where it will really show up. And you know, this did come out for the spring. It's that kind of like holographic prism tone kind of look. So their concept probably was to go for something that's not super in your face. But like I never understood the point of sheer eyeshadows. Why not just like take a really pigmented shadow and just like use less, sheer it out. So those are my thoughts on this palette. I'm going to try to create a look with these. It's mostly just like the look that they made. But I'm going to try to create a look out of these using just, I'm going to put eye primer on and I'll try to create a look just using these colors. And then after that, I'm going to wipe that off using this one, which I'll talk about, which is also, they came out with a new collection. And I'm going to create like a look that I feel like is a little bit more exciting. Because with these, I don't, even for that kind of like very like light, fairy, airy, like prismatic, holographic kind of look, I don't know, I'm sorry. Oh shit, I forgot to powder my fucking face, I'm sorry. I'm gonna dip into this Skin Fit powder in nude beige and just set like center of my face. I don't know why it took me that long to say that. Alright, I'm going to use their Fix the Eye Primer to prep my lids for shadow. If you're wondering where my contacts are from, these are the Russian Velvets in gray. In Korea, they sell them at Olens, but I don't think I ever found them online, so you're probably going to have to get them if you want them, you probably have to get them in Korea. Alright, so to create a sort of transition shade for my crease, I'm going to go in with this color right here. Because it's the only kind of color I feel like you can use as a transition color in this palette. Or honestly, you can use any of them, but for more like natural kind of crease color, that's your kind of only neutral in there. Oh, other than like this color maybe. Now I'm going to go to the blue shade right here, and I'm going to use a brush, but you'll see what I'm talking about in terms of like how much pigmentation you're getting. Spoiler alert, not that much. And I mean, it creates like a glow, which is a really pretty effect on the lids, but I don't know, for me personally, I don't care for that kind of look. But now that I'm looking at it, it's kind of pretty. I don't know. Move it up using my finger, you know, if you want. And then on the outside corner of that, I'm going to use this purple shade right here. Well, this more like a lavender, isn't it? That is kind of pretty. It's a little pretty, but I still, I'm gonna use my pinky and I'm gonna dip into a little bit of that kind of mint green. Like this one, this shade, I was kind of really excited for, but like looking at it, even on my finger, it's just like a lot of like shimmer suspended in like this other powder. It's just really powdery and chalky, and like when you swipe it even on your finger, it's like not even, it's really patchy. But anyway, just a touch of that on the center. This color out of all the shades is the most like shimmery and kind of mostly just glitter rather than like pigment. Kind of pretty, it's kind of pretty, not gonna lie. This is your kind of look? Shit, go for it. And then I'm gonna dip into this gray shade, a color I was also really excited for, but she's alright. I'll put that on the outer V. And then I'm going to dip into this shade here and place that on the outer corner. I think in the video they use this, they use these two colors for like blush, and that could work, but you have to be careful because it's such a small pan. You have to really coat your brush evenly and like maybe tap it on the back of your hand, because I tried to do it myself, but because it's physically such a small pan, I run the risk of it just like splotching in one area, and it's really hard to blend out that way. So there's that bit. And then I'm going to dip my finger into this beige, this kind of peachy beige shade. Is that on the inner, like, oh wait, what the fuck am I doing at this point? I'm just throwing shit on at this point. And to complete the look, I'm going to use this precision eyeliner in brown sugar, I think it's called, because I feel like with all of these pastel colors, I need a liner to ground the colors. And there's the eye look. Bitch, I do not know how to do eyeliner, apparently. Sorry, please ignore that uneven eyeliner. We'll look at this side. And to finish off the whole look, I'm going to use the contour lip color. This also came out with this. Actually came out after this stuff came out, because I noticed I saw this stuff in the store, but it took like several days for this to show up in the stores. But anyway, it's a double-ended lip product. One end you have your your lip liner, and the other end you'll have your actual like lipstick color, and you're supposed to line your lips with this end and then fill in the rest with this. But I'll have a separate video with all the swatches and my thoughts on this in a separate video. But this one is in Commander. She's okay. Yeah. Alright, so there's the first finished look. It's okay. It's okay. It's alright. But for me personally, I don't think the pigmentation is that great. Anyway, that was my review of the eyeshadow palette, so you kind of know how I feel. I think it's great for people with fair skin to light fair skin that like sheer eyeshadow and want to create really glowy kind of looks that have a bit of color that show through. So it's not just like, because I feel like especially with like milk makeup lately, like the really shiny lids is kind of a popular look, and you get that look with this, but it has a bit of color to it. So yeah, make what you want of it. But it's okay, it's just alright. So with all that stuff that came out of the collection, they also came out with a new Lip and Eye Makeup Remover Pro. And they do have a makeup remover. It's like a cleansing water, and that I use a lot for like if I'm switching looks. But I found that this, especially for eye makeup looks, you have to shake it so that the two things mix in there. But what I really like about this as well is that, I mean, the other one had it too, but this one has a pump, which a lot of eye makeup removers do not. And my favorite thing about this is that it removes makeup so well with such little product that it makes removing eye makeup such a breeze for me. Again, I don't wear that much eye makeup, but I noticed that it does remove like waterproof makeup quickly for me. Even waterproof mascara, it will take off even heroin. What is it? Volume and curl something mascara, and that shit is the hardest shit to take off. So usually for most eye makeup remover, I have to like dump a lot of product on the cotton pad just to be able to have enough to like really remove the eye makeup. But for this, I use just like one pump, and that's like enough. It doesn't look like there's much product on there, but I feel like that's enough to just quickly remove that shit off. Get that shit off real quick. And that's it. Do you see how quick that was? And now I'm just going to flip over the cotton because there's still a little bit of product left. One thing though is that this is not like cleansing water in that it feels just like water. There's a tiny bit of oiliness to it, which makes sense because it removes waterproof makeup as well. But it's not like greasy, oily, like the disgusting, uncomfortable kind of oily. So that's one thing to know. And then again, I would assume that if you're going to be using this, you're gonna cleanse your whole face afterwards anyway. But in this situation, obviously, I'm gonna be putting on another eye makeup look, so I'm gonna remove that with another cotton pad. I find that if I only use one pump and I have to be careful around my eye, it doesn't sting my eye. But if I use more than one pump and I really dump a lot of product in there and I'm putting on my eye and it's getting into my eye, then Like it does. Like I've had eye makeup removers that sting, but this one, like it goes. I feel it going to my eye if it does get into my eye, and like it'll start to sting, but then it goes away immediately. So that's one thing to note. All right, now we're gonna pull out the big guns. I'm gonna try to bring this palette to its full potential, or in general, just create a more striking look, I guess. And for that, I'm going to be using several other products. As a base, I'm actually going to use another one of the contour lip colors. Oh shit, I forgot to show that the remover takes off lip makeup as well. But then again, the lip product that I use doesn't take that much effort to remove, so it does remove lip makeup pretty well though. Tints, I would go by another method of like really, because tints are just so hard to get off, but most other lip products, it will just take off in just one swipe. But I'm going to be using the contour lip color in Pioneer. It's a beautiful blue color, and I was surprised she came out with a blue lip color, which is not a thing you see often in Korea, so I'm actually going to use that on my eyes as a base for this more intense. It's going to be like similar to the last look, but because it has this blue shimmery base underneath, I think it'll give the right undertone for the colors and the look that I'm going to be going for. Okay, really sloppy, but we're going to put color on top of it anyway. And now I'm going to take the matte master palette that she has, and I'm going to go in with this sort of Marsala shade. Actually, no, just kidding, not that color. Just kidding. I'm going to go in with this sort of camel color. Really great for contouring the nose even. But it's a really great transition color. I'm sorry, I keep like blinking and like all that, but all these bright lights are making my eyes like irritated. And with a pencil brush, I'm actually gonna take this purple shade right here. It's like an aubergine, which is just a fancy word for eggplant. Oh bitch, yes. Now going back into the Pastel Master palette, I'm gonna dip into that blue, and just like the last look, I'm gonna place that on the inner corner. I just feel like it adds a little bit more of an oomph having that blue base underneath. And then I'm going to go into the gray and put that on the outer corner. And then add the purple or the lavender shade in the center of those two colors. And then going to that green color, place that kind of up here and on the inner corner. But I kind of want it to like halo around the other colors. God, the amount of fallout with the green is so frustrating. And because that blue kind of disappeared, I'm gonna add more of it right here. And surprise, surprise! Go back in with the aubergine color, because that definitely, I need that to be there because there's too much shimmer going on in the look that I need to have like a matte color in there. I'm also gonna put on the outer V. And then I'm gonna take the gray again in this palette and go underneath. And just like the last look, to kind of ground the colors together, I'm going to add eyeliner. And this is another Longwear Precision liner, but this one is in that blue color I used in my last video, Mystique Navy. Okay, that's it for the eyes. It actually just looks similar to the last look. I guess just adding that dark base underneath just made it pop a little bit. But now for the lips, I'm going to use the same Commander and put that on my lips. But because now I feel like the lips might be too bright for the eyes, I'm going to add a little bit of, which is another color I was surprised she released, Advocate, sorry. This is like a brown wood sort of shade. Very interesting color. If you're into brown lipsticks, this is a really pretty option. I'm gonna put it in like the center to deepen up the color. Oh shit. Too much, too much. She went in too damn hard. No. If you recreated this look, I would probably add mascara, but I don't have any on me right now and it's too far. I'm too lazy to get it, so I'm gonna leave it at that. So there's my little demo of the new spring collection from Pony Effect. Products that I would recommend, definitely, of course, the cushion. If you're in the market for it, I definitely think the lip and eye makeup remover Pro is a great product. Eyeshadow, skip the eyeshadow honestly, unless you, like I said before, unless you have that certain skin tone and you enjoy sheer pastel-y. They're not really pastel, just really prismatic, holographic sort of shades. It's not completely holographic, but those kinds of colors. Then I guess definitely the color correcting palette. If you're in the market for a color correcting sort of product, these ones I will talk more in depth of in its own separate video, but these are not too bad themselves. Again, these I'm aware that Pony Effect is not cheap, but you know, they did send it to me. It's not sponsored or anything, but whenever a new collection comes out, they do send it to me, so I can review it. But yeah, I hope you guys found that useful. I don't know, I guess I'll see you in my next video. Maybe that. I'll see you. Bye bye.
Trying to play good girl, used to be a bad bitch. She worked too hard, you can hear it in her accent. Said her name, Erica, but the club call her Passion. Titties look new, cute face, and that ass massive. The way the body shape, it's gonna be a lot to handle. Baby foreign like the Lambo, worldwide.